Welcome to Muskegon Rising, a community service project of the Muskegon Rotary Club. Our purpose is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here since 1916. So, let's get started.
Hello, I'm Rem Sprague, and I'm here today with Kristen Turgeon to talk about Mission for Area People, commonly known in the community as MAP. Kristen, welcome.
Thank you.
In a few sentences, can you just tell our audience what MAP is, what it does?
Sure. MAP is a nonprofit agency, faith-based, and we're located in Muskegon Heights, across from the Heights High School. And we provide services to clients to meet basic needs and improve their quality of life.
So how long has MAP been in the community?
56 years, and it's going on 57 years.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And how is it funded?
It's funded by, it's greatly funded by community donations. We're a United Way partner, so we have United Way funding, and we also apply for different grants. Some of them are community-based, and some of them are state grants.
So MAP is located in the Temple United Methodist Church, across the street from Muskegon Heights High School.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a part of the Methodist Church?
It used to be. That's how it started out a long time ago. And now we are separate from the United Methodist Church, but we're still partners with them.
Okay,
so we're our own nonprofit.
All right. And I'll just acknowledge my own relationship with MAP. I've been a board member for 20-some years. So
yeah, a long time.
I've watched the evolution as MAP has moved from a ministry of the Methodist Church to a more independent, community-based organization. Can you talk about some of the specific services that MAP provides?
Yes, we have some services you might see at some other agencies, and we have some very unique services to MAP. So we do offer, as funding allows, rent and utility assistance, but we also have a free clothing pantry that's quite large. People can come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 2 every Tuesday and Thursday and get free clothing. 3 bags of clothes a person. And we have winter coats, we have blankets, household goods, all of that. We do take donations.
Okay.
And then we also have a food pantry, and our food pantry is the largest in Muskegon County, according to Feeding America. So we give 3 meals a day for 7 days a week in our pantry. And somebody can use that up to 4 times a year, unless there's another emergency to expand that. But we also offer food to homeless, and our food pantry includes food for special diets, like a diabetic diet. If somebody's vegan, we can shop special just for them.
So in the food pantry, do we bag up a bunch of food and give it to people, or how does that work?
Well, it did work that way for a minute during COVID, but we've expanded into a new area that's more accessible, and people can actually come in, the families can come in and shop. So it's a healthy choice food pantry because clients have a choice on what they pick. And not only do we have those services, but we have a walk-in medical clinic. We have a community health worker from Access Health that helps clients apply for insurance and other social needs. We have our Alice Fund, which is a United Way grant that helps people with transportation needs to keep their employment. We have a medical fund to help with prescriptions, and even gas cards is a big request. We help people get to their appointments. A lot of people are going to miss their appointments just because they don't have gas to get there, believe it or not.
Well, it's a really broad range of services. You said there's a limit on the number of services per year. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, so we have a few partnerships. We partner with True North and Love Inc. in Muskegon. So if somebody applies for transportation needs for rent or utilities within a year, if they apply the second time, they need to take a budget class. And once they have completed their budget class, then they can apply for a second assist if needed. But this year, since we started utilizing that program, we haven't had anybody apply for a second assistance.
I wonder why that is.
I am not quite sure. I'm not sure.
All right, you talked about some new programs. Can you describe some of those?
Yeah, so we So a couple of the new programs is our health clinic. That is brand new this year.
How does that work?
So how that works is we do not bill insurance. We're partnered with Love in Action, which is in Grand Haven, And we have a physician, Dr. Kevin Kiley, that comes in twice a week. And he'll see patients. They don't get billed. They don't have their insurance billed. But what we do is we connect them with the community health worker who then helps them find a permanent medical home. So we're working with Hackley Community Care and Muskegon Family Care to kind of send people over to a permanent medical home if that's something that they can do. But if they need a prescription or something like that, he can write a prescription, and we can utilize our medical fund to help fill those needs if that's something that's needed.
Yeah, it sounds like something very helpful. Has there been a significant demand for those services?
It's new, so it's still growing. I think we've seen probably close to 15 patients so far, but it is brand new.
So in the same facility, there's an organization called Supper House.
Yes.
What's the relationship between MAP and Supper House, if any?
So Supper House opens at 3 o'clock every day. They're open Monday through Saturday. So Monday through Friday, there's a gap time between about 3 and 3:30 where clients that are seeing, coming for food, they can come to see us for services as well. So we hand out some of our flyers over there, and if somebody comes in that needs dinner that night and they don't want to utilize our pantry, then we'll send them to Supper House. We kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, so it's a collaborative relationship, but they're not connected in terms of organizational structure or finances.
No, they are their own structure.
Can you talk about some other collaboration that MAP has within the community with other agencies?
Oh, we have a ton of collaborations, and that's kind of grown in the last year. Like I mentioned, we work with Love Inc. We actually share some of our excess baby clothes with their baby pantry. And they do our budget classes for us should we need them. And True North, also with the budgeting classes. AgeWell, we just had an event with AgeWell. They gave out about 500 boxes of food, between boxes of food and bags of produce in our parking lot within the last couple of weeks. And Salvation Army, we kind of work our Christmas programs and things together. They cover the young kids. We cover the teenagers. United Way, we just do a ton with United Way. They do a lot for us.
And I know Rotary has sponsored food trucks, and
Yes.
we've been in your parking lot distributing food to sort of a drive-in service for folks.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And people wait down the whole entire road to get their food on the food truck days.
So is it all paid staff, or are there volunteers that work with MAP?
So we do a lot at MAP. So if you visit our website, it says we're a small community with a small agency with a big impact. And we actually only have 6 employees. So 2 are full-time, the rest are part-time. So we really rely on our volunteers to help us meet all the gaps in between, like our food pantry, our clothing pantry. We do have a lot of faithful volunteers, but we can always use more.
Where does our food come from?
So we get a lot of our funding for our food through the Meyer Simply Give program.
How does that work?
So how it works is, and we always have the dates on our website, but for every $1 somebody spends, Meyer matches it. And then they have double match days. So you can there's little cards up by the registers. You can scan a card for whatever dollar amount that you want. You can scan the same card as many times as you want, and Meyer's will match it. And then on special days, which we always advertise those ahead of time, they double match. So if you do $1, then they'll do, $2. And we've probably gotten close to $26,000 so far this year. And we're in another campaign to go through December. So that's a huge contribution to our food pantry. And we serve so many people through our pantry. And then another biggie is the Dancing with the Stars. We got $10,000 last year for our food pantry.
Oh, that was very generous of them.
Yes, it is.
So you give people food. Do they know how to process, particularly fresh produce?
We work with the prison has a huge garden, and they donate produce to MAP all throughout the summer and early fall months. But we have, sometimes we'll give out little recipe cards on how to incorporate the food in the diet. But a lot of times because people do choose the food, we notice it's the apples and the things you could put in the kids' lunches and things that get picked most often.
Yeah. So what about the holidays? I understand MAP does some things for the holidays as well.
Yeah, we have a very fun program. Well, I'll start with Thanksgiving, and that's fun too. But we'll do Thanksgiving boxes, so we'll help 20 families with a full Thanksgiving dinner that includes the turkey and everything. In the past, Hazy Camps has donated turkeys, so Mr. Hazy Camp, I'll be calling you. And then we take in donations, too, for any of the items like stuffing. We do a dessert with every basket. It's a great big meal, and it's for families with children in the home. So that's Thanksgiving. Actually, Orchard View Elementary is doing early elementary, I should say, is doing a food drive for us. And last year, they filled a whole van load full of food for our Thanksgiving dinner baskets. So Christmas, we have something unique that's called Teen Town Christmas. And what we do is we help kids age 15 to 18 receive gifts for Christmas time. So Toys for Tots does up to 14, and our agency fills in gaps. That's kind of what we're known for. So we do the older kids, so everybody in the house will get something. And we have an Amazon wish list that's posted on our website. We also share it on our social media. And people can go on there and shop for holiday gifts. They can purchase things that they think that they would want to give to a teenager. And then we also accept monetary donations, so we'll do a lot of shopping ourselves too. But right before Christmas, we set up a whole area in the Temple Church in their parlor, and it looks just like a store. And we'll have volunteers come in, and families get to come in and shop for their teens. They get several gifts, even the stocking stuffers, and every kid gets a gift card. And the family will leave with a good-sized bag of gifts for their teen. The teens will never know that the parents didn't buy the gifts, so it's pretty special.
Well, I sense a theme here that when people shop for food, they're treated like anyone else going to a grocery store.
Yes.
When they shop for gifts, same thing as if someone was going to a toy store or a department store. Mm-hmm. And in the clothing pantry, they also come in as shoppers. So it gives a sense of pride and respect for individuals. Rather than us assuming what they want or need, we let them select for themselves.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're hoping to do.
Yeah, so it's a very humanistic approach.
Yeah.
I have an inkling that something's happening in the area of food pantries, some organization potentially, some collaboration among providers of food services. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening there?
Yes, there's a food club in the works. So we're a part of that group, Mission for Area People is, and we're working with Access Health and some other organizations to create something like a store where somebody would have points and they buy into it a little bit. It's for families that usually don't need, but with the cost of groceries and everything, it's a huge need. There's people that can buy the first 2 weeks of the month of groceries and they can't afford it at the last 2 weeks. So what this would do is for maybe $15, they would get points, so many points, and they can use those points to purchase food. So the idea is the healthier foods would cost less points. And then some of the snacks and things might cost a little more points, but it helps families see that they can get a lot more if they purchase the healthy foods. And it's something we're very excited about and looking to support. It would be kind of a different demographic than the people who we're seeing in our food pantry, but it's an awesome thing, and we're excited.
Can you talk a little bit about the people that we do serve? Are there any general characteristics of the population we support?
Yes. So I would say with our food pantry and our clothing pantry, a lot of times that is people at the poverty level. But with our other services, like the transportation and the medical fund and some of our other programs, we even had a daycare financial assistance program. Those are usually utilized by people in the ALICE threshold. So that's asset limited, income constrained, but employed. They're the working people who are making just enough to make ends meet, but one thing happens like a blown tire and it throws their budget off, and then they're scrambling to pay their utilities and things like that. So that's the demographic that we basically serve as the people who don't actually normally need help. So it's a circumstantial thing that's happened in their life.
Yeah, the phrase that people are one catastrophe away from poverty.
Yeah.
It applies to that Alice population.
Yeah, I have to tell you a really quick story. We had a single parent who had come in when there was no government funding back in September. There was no rent assistance available. And this single parent had 2 children at home and was going to lose their home over $175. So they had actually been very sick and had been hospitalized, and some of that time was unpaid when they were off of work. So this is somebody who normally worked and was able to support their family. And thankfully, we have some private donors who donate to us. And because of that donation, we were able to help the parent keep their home.
Yeah, we have a reputation of the phrase I hear so often is, go see MAP.
Yeah, that is true.
When people don't fit all the other categories that other agencies deal with, it's sort of go see MAP. Maybe they can help you.
Yes, you're right about that.
So what about funding, fundraisers, activities to support MAP financially? I know we're highly dependent on individual donors and company donors. Anything coming up?
Okay, so every spring, so this year and this next event and the last event, the Friday before Father's Day, we have a big golf event. So that's our major fundraiser. But we also have little mini events throughout the year in different ways to support MAP. The Wesco in North Muskegon at the Four Corners is collecting change for us. So if you go to that Wesco, round up your change, please. Basically, it's the one main fundraiser.
Yeah, okay, great. Anything coming up in the next year or two that you're thinking about?
Yes. So we're working at kind of reaching out to more sustainable donors. There's so many events and things that happen throughout the year. I will say, I have to add, the Michigan Irish Music Festival made a very large donation to our agency from the festival. So that was a big fundraiser actually for us that we weren't even expecting the amount that came in from that. So thank you.
Yeah, very grateful to them.
Yeah. But we are involved in something new. We're a pilot agency for something called the CIE. It's Community Information Exchange. And how that works is different physicians and other nonprofit agencies will take in applications on this site that was created by CareConvene. So if somebody sees their physician and they have a need that's discovered, they can apply online. Somebody can help them apply or they can call. And any agency that can possibly help this person, they won't have to fill out multiple applications. They'll fill out one. And that helps them not have to be going over some of these things are trauma. So they're not re-traumatized applying at multiple places. But in turn, there'll be a return payment from the insurance companies. So that's a new way for us to receive funding for things that meet the social determinants of health.
Yeah, that's been a move lately, particularly with Medicaid managed care plans, that they're obligated to contract with community agencies like MAP to support those so-called social determinants of health, things outside medical care that drive health outcomes. Housing, transportation, security, and clothing, and all of those kinds of things that come together around a population to improve their health. And it's nice to know that MAP is going to be participating in that.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Great.
Yeah.
So in closing, is there anything else you want our audience to know about MAP that we haven't touched on?
Well, I would like to recognize our staff. I would say mission for area people, everybody that works at MAP. I can say this truly from my heart that it's their mission to be there and to serve. They're some of the most out-of-the-box thinkers I have ever met, all of them. So if there's an issue, this is how we get all of our referrals. Somebody there is going to think of a way to meet the issue. So kudos to them and to all of our volunteers that come help us. We need you. And, if anybody wants to volunteer for the Christmas program, which is quite fun, or stuffing holiday baskets or anything like that, give us a call or send us an email.
So what is our website?
It's www.mission4areapeople.org.
Great. Well, thanks, Kristen. It's been great having this conversation with you
Yeah,
to
thank
talk
you.
about a really foundational organization that's been in our community for over half a century. And I hope we go on for another century or more.
I do too. Thank you.